Hey everyone, it's Madison Gesiotto coming to you once again with the good news. As we approach the holiday season, many of us are not very happy about the restrictions, the mandates, the curfews that are being released in states all across our nation, forcing us to spend the holidays away from our family. We've all had to experience times like this throughout the coronavirus pandemic, but fortunately, we have a great piece of news, and that's, of course, tied to that vaccine news, the news that might get us back to normal, allowing us to spend those holidays like we once did and hopefully will continue to do forever moving forward. And that vaccine news is those final numbers coming out of the Pfizer biotech trials as well as the Moderna trial, showing about a 95% effectiveness. Both will seek emergency use authorization from the FDA, so we'll wait to hear on that. And many are saying that Johnson & Johnson is not far behind in their trial, which is expected to be successful as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. And of course, we continue to keep an eye on the stock market, which has risen greatly as a result of the vaccine news coming out. Stocks continue to rise, especially those tied to economic recovery. So we'll keep an eye on the stock market. Even some stocks hitting all-time highs. So it's been a very interesting couple weeks, to say the least. In this video, this one really brought a tear to my eyes. It's the Metro Atlanta Boys and Girls Club, and they interviewed some of these kids. And these kids come from low-income families, many of which can't even afford a Christmas tree. And the kids were given a choice. They were asked, what do you want for Christmas, your dream gift? What do you think your mom or dad would want? And then both those gifts were presented to them. They were given a choice that they could take one of those gifts. And every single time those children chose the gift for their parents or their family member, which was just incredible. One little boy saying, Legos don't matter, your family matters. It's either family or Legos, and I chose family. So a great video. You're definitely going to want to check this one out as we remember, what's really important during this holiday season. And it is about family and it's about gratefulness. And these kids definitely are people that we could look up to on this. And one other piece of good news. We've seen China continue to take advantage of our country and others over the years. Not much light had been brought to this really prior to the Trump administration. Many turned a blind eye over the past 20 years since China entered the World Trade Organization. But, we're actually starting to see people turn their views on China, especially, of course, following that coronavirus pandemic and how they lied to both us here in the United States and others. But Pew is saying that, negative views of China are rising. Since Donald Trump took office, we saw a 20% rise in negative views in many countries across the world. We're seeing that rise, and we've seen it greatly in the last year. So this is some good news and hopefully will lead to some accountability for China as a result of their lies and what they've done. As always, though, we're continuing to see good news stories in our communities and stories not being covered in the mainstream media. So if you're seeing something and it's not being covered, be sure to send it in to us so that we can share it with our viewers, and we'll be back soon with more good news.